Welcome to Coco and Teal Speech Therapy. I'm Teal, this is Coco. Autism is being diagnosed more and more in the last few decades. In early intervention, we actually begin our first autism screenings at around 18 months. We can notice some red flags for autism as early as 18 months, and that's what I want to review in this video. Autism is a neurological difference in the brains of individuals. This difference manifests in the areas of social and language and communication. As a neurological difference, it can only be diagnosed by a psychologist, psychiatrist, neurologist, or a developmental pediatrician. In order to catch children who may be at risk for a later diagnosis of autism, my agency does what's called a screening. The screening for autism that we use is called the MCHAT-R. You can access a version of the MCHAT online for free if you Google MCHAT-R. This won't give you a diagnosis, but it does let you know if this is something that should be on your radar for your child. It's a 20-item questionnaire, very simple to fill out, and this would be a great thing to bring into your pediatrician if you do have concerns with autism. As a speech therapist working in the field of early intervention, I see a lot of kids who either have an autism diagnosis or will get one later on. I want to give you guys a list of some of my clinical observations associated with a diagnosis of autism. This is by no means a comprehensive list, and you might agree or disagree with some of the things that I associate. These are some of the red flags that I look for with my clients. First of all, there's usually a language delay associated. This looks different for each kid with autism. For some kids, we notice what's called hyperlexia, or a very early interest in numbers and letters, maybe even beginning to read at a very young age. For other kids, this looks like a language delay, not being able to express themselves, or language only in an area that is interesting to them, not used for a social purpose. So, for example, being able to sing a song, but not being able to ask for a piece of cheese when they're hungry. Kids with autism usually also have a hard time tuning into the language that we're giving them. This looks like a delay in receptive language, having trouble following directions, not necessarily responding to their name when we call them. A lot of times kids with autism have sensory differences. This might be differences with food. A lot of kids with autism will only want to eat foods of a certain texture or color. This could also be sensory sensitivity to loud noises or bright flashing lights or colors. Another classic red flag for autism is that these kids tend to avoid eye contact. They prefer to look at objects rather than faces, and especially eyes. A study just came out this year, 2020, which links non-syllabic vocalizations, prolonged sounds like e, as a toddler or baby's preferred method of babbling, as compared to syllabic vocalizations like mama, nana, and they found that kids who produced more non-syllabic, prolonged single sounds were also more likely to be later diagnosed with autism. As far as I know, this is one of the first studies of its kind, but they had very clear results from the study, so I think it's something I want to throw into my mix as I do informal evaluations of the kids that I work with. That's it, guys. Those are my main red flags. As I mentioned, this is not a diagnostic video. Please take what I say with a grain of salt, but I want to put this information out there for parents who might be wondering about their child's development and whether autism might be a diagnosis in their future. If you have concerns with speech or language development or any area of your child's development, I encourage you to contact an early intervention agency in your area or talk to your pediatrician about your concerns. Thank you for watching another episode of Coco and Teal Speech Therapy. See you next week.